Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Bloodsports by New Model Army. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you would like to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. And so, hey, with that said, I've heard one song by New Model Army, and it's Here Comes the War, a song which I really enjoyed, actually, and it just came on the other day on my playlist. Actually, might have been yesterday. I was listening to it yesterday morning, I'm pretty sure, actually. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, this song is so good. I should listen to it more often. Yeah, it's a really good song. It's interesting, too, because I think it's one of my more, I don't want to say disliked videos, but people definitely have some problems with the way that I guess, interpreted the lyrics. Not that I feel like I interpreted them wrong or just really said anything wrong. I just feel like maybe the interpretation of my interpretation, I think, was maybe miscategorized. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, I enjoy the band so far. Again, I've heard one song, so hoping to make it two good songs that I really enjoyed from them. So with that, let's jump right in. Bloodsports, New Model Army, here we go.
Every
That was a good song. I like that one a whole lot. Wow, I got a lot of great things to say about this one. Also, there's a few seconds. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna like link. Oh, good. Okay. Okay, how are you gonna hit me with that again? And then it cuts out. Was that supposed to happen? All right, let me go back. 439 versus 428. Oh, it looks like maybe there was. No, it's about the same. I click on this one. I just want to see if it cuts out the same way. No? Okay. I don't know. Just a weird recording, I guess. Sorry. Anyway, hey, let's break this song down piece by piece like we always do, of course, starting with the lyrics. So, I got a lot to say about the lyrics here. There are boxes packed with bullets. There are crates all stacked with boxes. There are uniforms and hardware. There are meals all wrapped in plastic. Through the night, the ships are loading. Every night, these ships are loading beneath the glare of the burning floodlights and the dancing of the swarmed mosquitoes. So, yeah, I mean, obviously preparing for war, right? You got the bullets, bombs, uniforms, etc., that kind of thing. And into the fire and the blood red sun, the old and rich still send the young men into a world of twisted steel and the acrid smell of metal burning. And on the streets of hometown now, we watch each other as if we're strangers. But say it loud, scream it loud. I am not at war. So I think that's very interesting, right? Obviously, it's a condemnation of war. Very similar, I feel like, to Here Comes the War, right? But essentially, here is kind of the same message of like old and rich still sending the young men and oftentimes the poor out to fight their battles for them, right? In a world of twisted steel and the acrid smell of metal burning. But I like this part too because so many of the wars that here, at least here in America, that we fought. I'm assuming these guys aren't American, but like just speaking from my American perspective, right? Like every time we go to war, it seems like we start to other the people who live amongst us, right? The Iraq War and the Afghanistan War, we really treated Muslims pretty poorly in this country, and that is a harsh understatement. I recognize. I'm just thinking back to like World War II, where we treated the Japanese people living here so poorly. It's just something that we tend to do for some reason. So it is just very interesting that he's saying, like, hey, in our hometown, as you walk the streets amongst each other, like, we are not at war, right? Like, we're neighbors. We need to stay together, that kind of thing. So I like that. I think it's a message that needs to be understood a lot better around here. So he says, "This body I have been given shall be returned unto its maker. Beneath my clothes, these secrets hidden, the sacrifice that I have to offer. By the checkpoint there are soldiers, and the cypress branches waving, and the light is hard as glass, and the sky is blue and cool and waiting." So I think this part talks about like the soldiers and their sacrifices and the irreparable damage to their bodies or the fact that they die out in war. It's obviously not a glamorous thing. And into the fire and the blood red sun, the old and rich still send the young men into a world of twisted steel and the acrid smell of metal burning. And on the streets of hometown now, we watch each other as if we're strangers, but say it loud, scream it loud, I am not at war. Again, I love that message coming back around. These stupid empty words could all be written on the cold pale skin of the dead laid out in shallow graves among the road of bombed out palm trees. Again, war is brutal. It's disgusting, and our words only go so far. When, again, there's people fighting and dying out there. And in the corners of the bars and cafes in every town, in every nation, there are these blood sports on the TVs and the loaded toneless voices. There are cameras by the gravesides and in the executioner's chambers. There are cameras high above us to guide the missiles down from the heavens. I'm wondering when this song came out. I don't know if it has a date next to it or anything, or when that track or the album came out. It looks like 2007. That's very relevant because I think I feel like it's only gotten worse, but I think as I listened to it the first time, that verse really kind of stuck with me because it's so true, right? Like you can turn on the news any given day and see war happening, right? That is, I think, the blood sport that he references, and you have your anchors, the loaded toneless voices who go on and they have maybe their own agenda in the way that they report on the violence, but again, it is almost desensitized, right? They report on it in such a way that doesn't convey, I think, the tragic loss of life. And then again, like, we televise everything. There are cameras by the grave sites. We show, the graves. We show even some of the carnage sometimes, and in the executioner's chambers. And again, thinking back to like 2007, thinking about back to like, some of the videos that were surfacing of, people like beheadings and stuff like that. But on the flip side too, like, of soldiers killing innocent people, those sort of things, right? I mean, there's no shortage of that, especially on the internet, and that would be true of the time. But I feel like it's only progressed to the point where like everything now is recorded because we just have little recording devices in our pockets at all times. I think even back to like the ongoing like Russia Ukraine conflict, right? Like, I've seen videos like on Reddit of like, hey, check out this video of a drone dropping a bomb on like a Russian soldier. It's just like shit like that, And I think that's kind of what he's speaking about here in this paragraph, and he's absolutely right to do so. And into the fire and the blood-red sun, the old and rich still send the young men into a world of twisted steel and the acrid smell of oil burning. And on the streets of hometown now, we watch each other just like strangers, but say it loud, scream it loud, I am not at war. Yeah, I think lyrically this one is just so well written. It covers a lot of ground, but it all comes back to the central idea that like war sucks, and that we so often send poor and young men to go fight these wars. And then the way that we approach it, again, like from a media perspective, is also just wrong, entirely wrong. So I think this is just really well written. It really hits home, really kind of pushes the point across with no fluff. It says like, hey, here's the issue and here's how I feel about it. So I love the way it was written. I'm giving it 2 big thumbs up for lyricism. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, I will say I like the vocal style here. I think it really fits this sort of punk rock style. I was not expecting those more like symphonic elements, but I really, really did enjoy that part of it, as brief as it was. Some really great bass work throughout, but you had this nice little bass fill, I think, near the center of the song. Some excellent drum fills as well, and then the guitar work throughout I thought was very solid. So really enjoyed listening to this one, both instrumentally and vocally. I'm giving it 2 big thumbs up there as well. As far as replay value goes, I think this one easily makes the playlist. Honestly, I'm kind of excited to listen to it again. It was just a really good song. Just really kind of hit all the notes, right? Like, lyrically, it's very solid. It tells it has a message. It almost tells like its own story, right? Vocally, I thought it really worked, that sort of punk rock vocal style. And then instrumentally, I thought it was solid from start to finish. So yeah, had a great time with this one. 2 big thumbs up for replay value. Overall, a fantastic song and another fantastic request. Thank you so much for whoever requested this one. As always, if you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And if you enjoyed what you saw here on the channel today, consider supporting the channel by doing all the normal things you do on YouTube. Like and subscribe and comment with your requests, because after all, that's how we got this song. So definitely leave those requests. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.